So, based on the explanation I gave you yesterday about trendline liquidity, because that's where we are going to start from. Every liquidity level is a level in the market where there's interest, where there's money laying around. When you hear the word liquidity, it means money. You understand? So anywhere that you mark as liquidity, it means there's money laying right there, either for buyers to take or for sellers to take. You understand? Once if buyers should take liquidity, it means that price is going to continue buying, right? That means there are limit orders. Limit orders are orders that institution has placed, waiting for price to reach. Price then came in, triggered that order, and then price will then continue upside to the upside, right? And for the sell side, it's also a sell limit. You understand? There's money laying around to the upside. Buyers are willing to sell for that price, and price will sold from there and continue downwards. That's the whole point of liquidity. When you see trendline liquidity, also it's just ranges where there are limit orders or where retail buyers are setting their stop loss. Where retail buyers are setting their stop loss, so all these institutions will come for those orders, for those stop loss, and hunt them down. Then that's for retail buyers, or I'll say dumb money for those that don't understand the market. So it's stop loss, and even if you're a professional, you can't escape it. Sometimes you fall victim for it. So yeah, as I was explaining yesterday, now this is what we call trendline liquidity. Let me see if I can go back to that chart. So I already did a video yesterday. In the video I was explaining everything and I marked out all this, but that video was too long and I made lots of pauses in the video because I was also busy with something else. So I decided not to send the video. I think, where is it? You can see the video here. Take me that far. You can see the video here. I mean, I even made almost two videos. This one is 11 minutes and this one is 17 minutes, as you can see. See, I made a video about this, but let me just do these videos. I don't want this one to be long. I will make sure this one is 10 minutes max. So in the video, that was why I marked out all the trendline liquidity for you. This is the trendline liquidity for price going up. This is trendline liquidity for when price is going down, and then the breakouts. That's where the switch or the change in direction happens. And the breakout for this is when the change in direction happens. That's where you mark your market structure shift. Now, one thing you need to know about market structure shift is the last low and the last high. If price should now come down, let's say price is trending up, just like you see here, right? Price is going up, going up, going up, going up, and then all of a sudden price then make this high. Now this high now that price made becomes the last high that price made in this trend. You understand? This now became the last high that price made, and after this last high, where is the low before the high? The low price made before the high is this. You understand? This was the low. This was the low here before this high was created, right? So this is the low before the main high. So when price now comes down and break that low, that's where market structure shift occurs. And after that, you then look for more criteria like liquidity, inducement liquidity. So for this bearish side now, you see I marked out this here. Market came up, break structure, created an inducement liquidity. Now for retail buyers, they would want to buy from here again, thinking it's just simple market structure like this zigzag that will continue. But no, instead price will do what? Price will induce them, hit their stop loss, take them out, and then price will continue moving to the upside. That's the point of liquidity. You understand? It takes money. Anytime you see price moving up and down, it's not just random. It's going to where there are limit orders and where there are money laying around to pick and then move. And when you see price ranging in a specific range, just like this range in liquidity, it's when buyers and sellers are almost equally in control. You understand? They're like 50% buy, 50% sell, or maybe 40% buy, 60% sell. So the price will just keep ranging until one of the other claims power, either the buy side or the sell side. You understand? So that's the point of trendline liquidity. Now, for everybody that trades what's this called? Anybody that trades trendline, this is one of the most popular type of trading. You understand? The most popular types of trading amongst trading like that. You see many people trade trendline. They'll just look for when trend is happening. You see price trending like this, then you just wait for breakouts. Once breakout happen, they'll look for the retest and then they'll take the trade. Same thing for the buy side too. They'll just that's one of the popular trade, and this is the kind of trading I've been trading since 2021. This type of trading I've just been trading, all these patterns like these trend line patterns, head and shoulder, all those kind of things, until 2025 when I decided to put my head down and study more about SMC instead of just trend line. So now you can see I marked out this trend line yesterday. You can see this trend line here, right? So when this trend line happened, this was our breakouts, and then you see price continued until we take out the high of that trend line. Right now, this must align with your bias. Now the bias means your direction where you are expecting, either bullish or bearish. Now this bias is bullish because obviously here you can see we created a high here, created a low, we created a high. Now this is an higher time frame structure, and then we created a low. Now market reacted from a point of interest around here and then started moving back up, right? So if there's any bearish sign you see, like price should sell, just know that it will fail, because price is what? Bullish. So what you'll be expecting is price to now break another structure, which it did, and then it came down, created this trend line. Now as it created this trend line, you know that okay, price should buy from here, but since we are in the trend line, I'll wait for a breakout. Then a breakout happens, right? What you just do next, mark your point of interest, which is right here, take your trade, and then trade it until we clear the high of that trend line. Now you see here, what happened here was we then created another trend line here. If you clearly look at it right here, we created another trend line here. Hold on, sorry. We created another trend line here, as you can see, and then we have a breakout. But instead, what price did, it only sold almost like halfway through and then continue back up, because the market is bullish, price is going up, and this high, we are still expecting price to come and take out this high. So that was why this trend line failed. You understand? That's what I meant when I said it has to align with your bias. If price is going up is bullish in an higher time frame, and then you see inside there, you see small trend line like this happening. I mean, sorry, if you see price in an higher time frame, it's going up, break structure is going up, and then inside you see one small trend line happen as if you want to sell like that, don't fall for it. You understand? Because it will most likely continue back up again. Those kind of things happens. That's why everything is not 100%. You just need to understand the bias of the market. If you don't understand the bias, you keep trading in the wrong direction. You understand? You keep trading in the wrong direction. When price is bullish, you keep spotting, looking for bearish patterns, instead of you to just focus on looking for buys. You will now be looking for sales when price is buying. You understand? And most of the time, when bias is strongly bullish or strong in its direction, you cannot force it to change direction. If you should do that, you only keep losing money in the market. Hold on, let me clear all this, then I'll look for another example for Trendline Liquidity and show you. I think I should go to BTC yesterday. Let me look at BTC yesterday. I think there was a trend line that happened there. Let's see. Yeah, here, thank you. So you see price now is bullish here. Price is bullish, right? Here we have a trend line. This is another type of trend line, right? We see price moving here, and almost at here you see price started ranging. Now this kind of trend line, now what happened here? Price first came here, broke out of this trend line, create a break of structure, retested, and then fly. You see that's a trend line. That's a trend line right there. So you see something like this now. You see another trend line here, right? But since market is bullish, you cannot expect this one to now come and sell. Although this one did not even give a breakout, so anybody would know not to trade this because there is no breakout, right? So this is not even trade, and even if it did give a breakout, it would be advisable for you to not trade it because the market was obviously bullish. So here now you can see we have this trend line right here, right? This trend line, now we have this trend line right here. Now why did this one play out? I even took a trade here. You see that when I was taking this trade, I did not target this entire low that it should come and clear it, although it did play out completely. You see it has already played out completely, and oh my god, I just missed a trade here. I just fucking missed a trade here. I'm sorry for the not my language, but dang, I forgot to set limit order on this, but I'll look for confirmation. So you see, as I was saying, I did not sell here because the market is obviously bullish, so trying to sell up to the low is kind of risky. But you see, it did play out until we even cleared out the entire trend line. That's one thing. Here now again, you can see another trend line here, but this one did not play out completely, right? Because the sell bias here was stronger than the buy. That was why it did not happen. And here there was a point of interest here. That was what stopped price from going higher, and then we sold until we cleared this entire trend line liquidity. So from here now, there's another probability price can continue here, because this structure, as you can see, this is a single structure. Where is it? From here to here is a single structure, right? So all this happening are internal structure, right? So this low is still the low that's protected, so we're not expecting price to come to this low, right? So if by any chance price break this low, then that's obviously a bearish sign, and price might just keep going lower and lower. And aside from that, we can also spot that we have a trend line like this, and then price might just keep falling down. So you see here, we do have this trend line, we have this breakout, we have this as the retest, and see price going down, right? But since the price is bullish, we can still see price do something like that, just from this position that it's right now, and then just fly out because it's bullish. But if by any chance we now break the low of this structure that was supposed to be protected, then obviously I'll just look for my confirmation and continue selling until we reach any other range where I'm expecting price to stop, or either reverse, or maybe it might even continue, but I'll take my profit and exit around there. That's the whole point of the trend line. So you'll be adding trend line as part of your confluence when you are trading. Trend line is very, very important. It's not something to ignore. It's not something to ignore. So this is it for the trend line. This trend line that I just showed you now is the most popular and simplest type of trend line liquidity, right? This is for sales. This is type of trend lines are for sales, when you're expecting sale to happen, right? Let me see. And this one is type you're expecting for buys. Once you have a breakout, you have a buy. And for this type, once you have a breakout, you're expecting a sell. That's what it is. Now, for market structure, when I was explaining, I think I even marked the trade I took. This was the BTC trade yesterday night. This was a 1 to 5 hour, and this I think, okay, this Ethereum trade. Let me thank God I saw it. Let me use this Ethereum trade as an example for you for Trendline Liquidity. Let me use that for Trendline Liquidity. I think that's the most cleanest Trendline Liquidity trade I took last week, upper week, I'll say upper week. So here now, let me come to the 2 hours. Yeah, it's on the 2 hours. So here you can clearly see we have this trend line here. We have this high, low, inside everything, high, low, and so on. So but you can obviously see the trend line liquidity, right? You can obviously see trend line. You can ever sorry, my tongue is twisting. You can obviously see the trend line right there. Now, why is this trend line valid? Why did I feel like this one is going to sell instead of maybe doing those kind of fail, sell, and then breakout? Because this one is bearish. The pair is bearish. Normally, I should have catch my sell around here, right? But I didn't. And inside all this move, market rejected from here. We break another structure. This one now create inducement. Now, let me show you what I meant when I was talking about inducement liquidity. Inducement liquidity. Now, remember, I said in inducement liquidity, you see price do something like this. Let me use sell side, for example. Price will go up, come down, break structure, right? Then go up again, come down, break structure. So normally, instead of doing this and breaking out that structure, price will not do that. Instead, price will now come up, take out this low, where some people will consider it as a market structure shift. Instead, it's not market structure shift, it's just inducement liquidity. It's taken out, and then it will buy from a point of interest around, or to sell from a point of interest around there, and then continue going down. That was exactly what happened here. Hold on, let me clean this. So here now we have the trendline liquidity, right? And then markets created a high, created a low, break of structure, created another high, and created another low, another break of structure. Now this is our breakout, and then we have this trend line going up here as price is trending straight to this range. Now some people were expecting price to now sell from here. They will take their sell here, but instead what happened, and put their stop loss here because this is the low that was supposed to be the protected low, right? But instead what happened, price took them out. Price took the low, and you see I marked it as my own inducement right here. IDM IND can also be the abbreviation for it. That's my own inducement because what, that's the first pullback after this break of structure occurred here. After this break of structure occurred, this single candle here give us break of structure. This is the first pullback we have here before price now came back and take out the eye of this same eye that gave us break of structure. That was why this is a valid inducement, and here you can see we have a valid order block. Then I took my trade from there and I sold until we cleared this entire liquidity. This was my target. My first target was here, right? Because there's obstacle here that can slow price down, and this was my full target, full TP. Aside from that, there are also other concepts I added to get confirmation that my bias is going to sell, which is the CRT concept, but that's for another time. Those are advanced market structure. It's not something you want to bother yourself about now. So yeah, you can see it, right? This is what it is. This is how it is. It's not complicated. It's not something that you just see and think, oh, this thing will be hard to spot. Or there's nothing hard about it. It's easy to spot it. When you see trend line, you understand trend line. You see price reacted from here, come back here, rejected, come back here, rejected, and then finally broke out. You understand? A range where market has been testing, but refused to break out, and then at the end of the day, it now break out. They just know that it's going to sell to the opposite side, right? There are many liquidity level. Even here is a trendline liquidity, as you can see. Here's a trendline liquidity as well. So those are ranges you can have take profit. Inside of here, you can see we have another trendline liquidity here, but that's when you go to the lower time frame, like let's say 15 minutes. Let's go to the 15 minutes. So inside of that 15 minutes there, that's where you see the trendline liquidity. You see it right here. See, this is a trendline liquidity. Price broke out of it, did a V-test, and then continue falling down. That's a trendline liquidity. And oh my god, this video is already 17 minutes. Let me just cut it here. I just want you to understand trendline liquidity, and now you should just go to the chart and check for trendline liquidity and show me. Even here, you can see after this sell happened completely, you can see here we add another trendline liquidity here. Another trendline liquidity here. Price then came, broke out of the trend line, and then ranged around here until you see after all this ranging, market then break structure here. Now people would have said, see this as market will come back here and buy from around there, but instead what did price do? Price came down, move. You see how this low was protected. Price did not come below this low, right? Because this low is a protected low, so price is not supposed to come below that range there. And then price continued to the upside until we cleared the entire liquidity. Price kept buying until it cleared the entire liquidity. That's the whole point. Here you can see we have another trendline liquidity for possible sell idea. We have our breakouts. These are possible retests. So if this low should fail right here, this low, if this low should fail, then it's going to be a clean sell for me. I'll look for sales until probably even all this range around here before I start looking for that buys again. I hope this explanation I gave is easily understandable, and if it is not, no problem. I can still keep explaining more and more, because I'm not only helping you, I'm also helping myself. Because as I'm teaching you, I'm also learning, because I have to keep studying. Every weekend I keep studying this every time. So at least I can do it now, and more than two of us would benefit from it at the same time. And if I should see progress from your side, then I'll know that I'm doing good. Alright, let me save this video now and I'll send it to YouTube. Probably I'll save it to YouTube so that you can watch it from there.